winter election of 2005 and 2006, Peter kicked off our campaign that time too. He opened our office, so you've been a good luck charm here in Barrie, and he's done incredible work supporting base Borden and the Canadian Forces, and I thought it would... It would be only appropriate today to have our good friend Jamie Massey introduce Peter. Jamie's been another fantastic supporter of base Borden. And so with no further ado, Jamie Massey is going to introduce Peter MacKay.
Thank you everyone for being here, especially today, and especially Peter. I mean, just a real short bio on Peter, because I think everybody knows Peter, but he graduated law from Dalhousie, and my son went there. But they didn't cross paths at the same time. Peter was truly instrumental in bringing the Progressive Conservative Party of Canada together with the Alliance to form the Conservative Party of Canada. First elected to the House in 1997, served in many roles, Deputy Leader of the party, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and really, and as Patrick said, since August of 2007, has been truly the greatest Minister of Defence, I think, in modern times, and you've done an incredibly outstanding job. Peter's been a great friend to Canadian Forces Base Borden, and an even better friend to the people of Barrie. His participation in Patrick's annual hockey tournament or game is his triumphs. Cannot. There aren't enough accolades to describe his triumphs, but the time he's given to our riding, his support to Patrick, has been outstanding. He's an amazing rugby player, hence the broken shoulder, arms, all those pieces. Baseball player, football player, and truly a hockey enthusiast. A supporter of Barrie, a supporter of Patrick. Peter MacKay, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you very much, Colonel, and Patrick, of course, and you know, we can talk about ice hockey, the playoffs are coming, but you know, it's the first day of the baseball season. And spring has sprung, and I know that because signs are popping up all over Barrie that are blue.
Yes.
And you know, I know Patrick has assembled a terrific team, which is what it takes. Politics, first and foremost, is a team sport. And it's about getting results. And you're very fortunate in this constituency to have someone of Patrick's ability and enthusiasm to deliver results. And while I know this is an election that no one wanted, you know, let's be honest, the preference would have been that we continue to govern. We're coming out of a difficult recession, tough economic time. We were starting to make a lot of progress in important areas of the economy and trade, and we were getting important legislation through. And we had a good budget, a solid, practical, roll up your sleeves, get the job done budget. All of that was preempted. The opposition were bound and determined they were going to force this election no matter what. And how do I know that? Because they were already campaigning well in advance of defeating us in the House of Commons. They did not want that budget to happen. Because you know what? And I say this honestly, that budget included a lot of the ideas that other parties were advancing. And they were good ideas. There's no property in good ideas. If it's good for the country, that's what Stephen Harper and the Conservative Party want to bring to the country. And that's why the Prime Minister is making his way across the country, having an honest debate with Canadians about issues and ideas that matter to them. He's out on the East Coast today. We swapped spots. He was here in Ontario yesterday. He was in Nova Scotia this morning, Newfoundland this evening, and I'll let you in on a little scoop. He's announcing support for the Lower Churchill Clean Energy Initiative that is going to allow us to harness that important hydropower and bring clean, renewable energy to the East Coast. Allow us to get rid of some of those coal fire emissions. Allow us to bring down those emissions and capitalize on what is a huge natural resource. Those are the type of things that make a big difference in people's lives. Things like bringing in that tax credit for volunteer firefighters. Initiatives to help get rural doctors and nurses out of student debt. Initiatives for seniors. Increase in transfer payments to provinces like Ontario and my own that help education, that help our healthcare system. Practical, common sense things. And you know, I for one am very proud of the progress that we've made as a government when it comes to some of those areas that were being neglected. And I speak, of course, of the military. We all know, and we've heard the expression, the decade of darkness. A lot of our forces lived through a very difficult time. A lot of their Decisions on whether to remain in the forces were based on the fact that the military was being cut, the equipment was rusting out, missions were being neglected, and now we see the pride and the purpose that the military have brought to our country in recent years. And you'll forgive me if I sound a little maudlin or a little melancholy, but yesterday we saw the cost that's involved in military service. We saw a young man, Corporal Yannick Shearer, who gave his life, 155th Canadian soldier to do so, and many others that have been injured in the course of this action. But what are we doing there? We're bringing opportunity and hope to a country that had none, that was under a terrorist rule. Let's never forget how this mission began. North America was attacked from Afghanistan by a terrorist organization that was running that country. And now, where you saw chaos and oppression, you're seeing 7 million little kids in that country now going to school. A third of them girls. We're seeing clinics and schools being opened in the country where they can be vaccinated against infectious diseases. We're seeing a country now producing more wheat than poppies. Drugs that are coming to North America and other cities around the world and killing people. And we're seeing commerce and an economy start to emerge in that country where, again, they had little opportunity and no future. And so that's what Canada does. And that's what having a robust military, properly equipped, allows us to do for the world. Same in Libya, preventing mass slaughter of civilians in that country. Humanitarian missions like we saw in Haiti, where we were able to roll out in 24 hours and go down to that earthquake scene and help get people out of the rubble and out of harm's way. Bringing aid through those new C-17 aircrafts has done so much for our country's ability to react quickly and to provide the type of assistance and humanitarian relief that Canadians are so proud of. And this base where so many Canadian soldiers are trained, their skills and abilities are enhanced, has received new infrastructure, has received the type of support that is going to secure that base's future. And I can't think of a community in the country, there are very few, that have demonstrated a higher degree of support for the Canadian Forces.